So Amelia Moore has been everywhere, all over the place, around the world, etc., etc., etc. But we're always thrilled and glad to have her back on the show. So please welcome the author of CEO versus CEO, an executive handbook, Amelia Moore.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, it's been a long time.
Yes.
We've been talking about with the millennial stuff. I mean, what is your view on this? What do you think? You want to clear the air on what millennials are good at?
Sure. I mean, I work with you guys, and I have one. So I think there's a lot of challenges. I think when you guys were during your formative years, like, 10, whatever, the 90s was all about materialism. Mm-hmm. So you got this false vision of grandeur. You know what I mean? And, we as the adults and the parents wanted you guys to have a better life than us. So we didn't put you through the necessary changes that our parents did to us, about earning things and my earn schmern. Mm-hmm. Give it to him. He did good in school, give it to him. But it winded up affecting your work ethic because of the mere fact that, we worked hard for it. So when we got it, we appreciated it. You know what I mean? But you got it because you got it. Mm-hmm. So that whole work ethic. And then the other thing, too, is, when you look at the way we played versus the way you guys played, I mean, you got video games, you're cocooning pretty much in your own world, maybe one or two friends. But we had like 4 or 5 kids, the jump ropes and all of that. Mm-hmm. So that whole socialism and that whole mandate of having to deal with you and deal with you and deal with you because I want to play, whereas I can just shut out the world and play, it affects you when you get older.
Right. Now, what about when it comes to financially? Because it's hard to believe that millennials are also good at saving money. I mean, where do you see it?
Well, that's because of us. Like the baby boomer generation, well, no, I'm not necessarily, I'm in between both, but I'm always between, like, I still have not totally figured out where I am, but I know what my son is. Okay. And we stress that. Like when my son was first born, it was all about CDs. You got CDs on your birthday. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So he was already knowing about financing, So, and I wasn't the only parent that did that because our parents had brainwashed us that you needed to do better than us.
So what was a reaction like to getting a CD for a birthday? Because, as me as a child, that was only one thing. Okay.
But the way you explained it to your child, or the way I explained it to my son is, it's $10 now and it'll be $100 when you're 10.
It's like, oh, cool, that's perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
so a kid's like, oh, $100? That's a lot of money. Mm-hmm. So, all right, I like this gift. Now what's the next one?
It's like there's no appreciation to the fundamental of the gift that was given.
Yeah, there was, but it was just what I did. Mm-hmm. So now I do it later. Because that's something I showed you, right? So I mean,
that's whereas in the back of the mind that whole time.
We weren't informed on that. They did what they did as far as adult things, and you were a child, so just do the kid things.
I'm like forcing myself to learn now. Now I got a financial advisor. I'm
that's
just like
good.
Forcing myself to. It seems boring, and it is kind of boring, but it's like one of those things that you have to do. Like you shouldn't have to really think about it.
Well, I'll be honest with you. It took me a long time to start paying attention to finances because I was raised in a family and in a house, and money didn't matter. Money was not the main important thing. Being a good person, being a good family member, those things were important. So money was, they had it. We knew what it was, but it wasn't valued like that. It wasn't valued like that. So that kind of messed me up. Because I would make money and it didn't mean anything.
And what is it that's happening with the millennials that they're valuing now that they didn't value back then? Like you were saying about money wasn't the root of everybody's happiness. It's about being a good person, being in harmony, loving one another, taking care of one another. Now it's like money's like everything. It's like dollar signs everywhere. Like what did we go wrong?
90s. The 90s was money, 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 money. $1 million for a budget, Bugatti cars, Rolls Royces. Everybody was rocking $1 million rocks, red. You didn't even know that there was different colored diamonds until the 90s. Everybody was like, I got my yellows and my blues and my reds. Average people didn't know that there was all these unless you lived that life.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen? Like now, that's what I see now. I was born in the 90s, but I didn't really live the 90s. I lived like 2000s. And now I see there's a lot more of money, big car, big thing, and it's more accessible now because through social media, like your friend could have that. And it's just like, what do you do? What's the future generation gonna see?
This is the funny thing. I work with younger kids. I work with middle school age children, and they have had it up to here with all of that. And that's why social responsibility is becoming a huge thing, because that generation is now the next generation. They're the ones that are the 17s, the 18s, really,
Correct.
and the 16s, and they are sick of y'all.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep that honest. They are sick of y'all. They're like, ugh, it ain't about that. It's about this. I'm gonna buy the socks that gives the bombas. That's the reason why they're so successful.
The homeless, they give the homeless people the socks,
I'm gonna buy that sock because they give socks to the homeless. I'm gonna buy this coat because they give this to that. I'm gonna buy this water because that's how they're making their judgment calls. And I think that's because that generation is the only generation that's waking up or raised on the possibility of there not being another generation.
Right.
Nobody's been, they're talking 2030. 2030,
That is
they're only
scary.
20.
Yeah.
That is scary.
They're 30 years old in 2030.
So what can we do to like get to where we used to be in terms of valuing each other?
I'm glad you asked that question. I really am. Because there's a thing the United Nations did 5 years ago called the 17 Global Goals. And it was a runoff, a spin-off of the Millennial Goals, right? And the 17 global goals are beautiful. It's a world with no hunger. That's number one. End of poverty, end of homelessness, gender equality, clean water, clean air, clean. These are things that we must learn how to do, how to have conscious corporate collaboratives instead of takeovers. These type of social responsible things, and that's what this is. And I walk around everywhere with it. I don't care what I'm wearing.
Now tell us more about that. What's that you have?
This is the symbol of the 17 goals. Each one has their own color representing what that mission is. And I'm telling you, if we all could turn this ideology into a lifestyle, 2030 will be all right.
Wow, so it's gonna be 10 years till we get there.
Yeah, and it's pressing. We better stop cracking because we are way behind what we were supposed to be doing. And it's because it's so, one side you have all these people that are saying this is what's pressing, and on this side you've got all these people that are solving the problem, but they're not doing this. And I think it's because they need laymen. Laymen have a very valuable role in this world. They're the ones that makes the world real. They're not the decision makers, they're not the ballers, they're not that. They're the people that live every single day. But if you don't have the people that live every single day, there is no life.
Right.
If I don't go to work and drive that garbage truck to pick up the garbage, New York is gonna be nasty. I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm trying to do my 8 hours, get my check, and have fun on the weekends.
And get away from the garbage that's in New York City.
How do you get people to buy into something like that when everyone's just like out,
Because you do it, it's so funny because that's really where I'm at now. I brought back my consulting firm and I'm getting very involved with this because I feel like this is my next calling. And it's no different than what we did with Rough Rider. How did you take a rich person and make them a gangster? How did you take somebody from the middle America and want to be a gangster?
Wow.
Oh boy.
It's a lifestyle. And so if you show people what a real lifestyle is, being real, being considerate, and they like it, and you're putting it where they can know how to do it, instead of just leaving it in the idea world, they'll do it.
I agree with you a lot. But my only thing is, I feel like living wages and that whole realm of what is enough money to sustain the life that people want to live. How do you move forward with that? Because earlier I was saying, like teachers, for example, teachers shape the world. They don't get paid, and that's a regular job. You know what I mean? That's a job that more people should aspire to do. And I feel like a lot of people, including myself, I love children, but when I look at the lifestyle I want to live, I'm be honest with you, I don't want to be a teacher because how am I going to live? I want to have a big family. You know what I mean?
No,
So,
that's not going to work.
How do you get people to just, like I said,
So the way that I get, and I'm really working with the youth with this
Yes.
because it's very, very, very important. I have a thing called the 3P philosophy. The 3P philosophy is find your passion. Find that. Then that'll lead you to your purpose. And that'll lead you to your profession. And whether you get paid a lot or a little, you're going to love it because you're doing what you love.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Amelia.
Yes, you guys.
Wow, that went by so fast.
It
was.
it really went by so fast. They're trying to make me wrap this up, but listen, it's never enough with you, Amelia. We need to have you back on.
It was so much information. Very
Yes,
I love
very
being on the
informative.
spotlight. I really do. You guys are always so cool.
Thank
Come
you.
back
you.
anytime.
Anytime you invite me, I'm
Yes,
back.
our special thanks to Ameliaismore, aka Ameliaismore. We'll be right back.
That was so good.
Thank you.